Okay, as an alternate option for us to generate the loop around the mouth, we want to look at the option for us to include in the geometry the nose for the loop. So if you look at this reference here, in these references, we find that the the loop, yes, happens around the mouth, but there is also another loop that happens around the nose. The advantage of that is that if you have a character that requires a lot more anatomy uh, reality or being more correct, having a loop around the nose or including the nose in the loop will give you the opportunity to have this wrinkle that you have here. That when we humans smile, when we make an expression, those muscles contract or expand. So we want to do that using a slightly different approach that will help us generate that loop. So when we in the previous video we saw that the loop went around the mouth just covering these three vertices, and we cut and then we smooth it. Now for us to generate the effect around the nose, we have to do it slightly differently, and that means generating a different type of cut. So I'm going to isolate this object again. This is before we generate the loop around the mouth, and we are going to start doing the loop, but the loop is going to include more than just the mouth. The loop is going to include this tip, which is the nose. So I'm going to just start right in the middle of the line there. I'm going to go to the middle, to the middle, to the middle, to the middle. I'm not going to any corner, all to the middle. So I'm trying to generate the loop that way. Here there are a couple of little challenges that we want to look at, and that is that of course if I smooth this out, I'm going to generate the loop the way we just did it. But the loop is going to add a lot of some other problems for us. So we want to do a couple of things before we add additional lines, and one of them is we want to insert an edge loop that goes all the way up around here, because we're not going to be able to do the smoothing the same way we did before. So I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this, the cut that I did, and I'm going to just insert an edge loop here to try to generate a loop that goes up the face around to the other side so that we get the cheek. Let me turn off the sub-selection because I don't want to have sub-selection, so I just added that so that I have a little more control over my cheeks. Okay, now I'm going to be able to do the cut. So I'm going to just go back again and do it exactly the same on the same edges that we wanted. So I'm going to go middle, 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 middle of the line, and then there. So that way I have generated that. That is going to generate that loop. So that means that the mouth is going to be encased here and the nose is going to be encased there. But we don't have a mouth yet. We cannot do a mouth in there yet. And we do have these guys that will give us the chance for us to generate the correct loop, of course, right? So we can just do this and this, right? And here and here. So that is the typical just grab those four vertices there. I'm just gonna scale them up a tiny bit so they start having a little bit more of a squad look. So I hit 3, that's what it's looking. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna have to keep checking on my shape. I'm not worrying about that much yet. I'm working right now on generating a good looking loop. So I know that this is going to allow me to have the loop around that that mouth. Now, around the nose and the mouth. But I don't have a loop around the mouth yet. So I'm going to do another one, which is the one which I'm going to cut for the mouth, so we're gonna end up doing the same that we did before. And this way, again, this one will cut to this one here, and this one will cut to this corner here, and this one will cut to this corner here, and of course this one to that one. And in the same manner, we're just going to just smooth them out a little bit so we got more quad-like shapes. Okay, so now I have a loop for the mouth and I have a loop for the nose, and I'm going to just exactly the same thing. Select the faces that do not loop, and I'm going to just to screw them in to generate the inside of that mouth. I'm extruding 3 times. Yes, from that you can just grab the loop inside and then just scale it and reshape it to do whatever you need to do with it, right? Okay, so I have right now a loop for the mouth, a loop for the nose. The loop for the nose is a little bit out there, so I'm gonna have to do some corrections to it, but from that I can start modifying some of the vertices and start getting the shape back where it needs to go. Oops, not that. Start getting the shapes where they need to go, and of course correcting some of the symmetry of it. Let me just turn on symmetry. I think that way we have a better chance to correct some of the problems that we have at the moment. And of course these objects are going to start getting a bit closer here, and you start seeing how the shapes start giving me what I need to do. Again, we didn't smooth in this case because we're adding so much information that we probably want to stay with as little geometry as possible. From here you have the option of generating the eye sockets and generating all over the other components. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like Cecil yet, but it's just a matter of making sure that we are working on the right deformation to match. Look at the mouse picking through it to match the geometry to the drawing and all that. Alright, seems that I'll have to double check from the front view. Is that correcting the mouth size and all? Okay, so I'm gonna save this as a new version.